Hello and welcome to Odds on Premier League. We are going to analyze the 31st match day with Tom Rennie. The fight for the Champions League spots is really interesting and I want to know your opinion as well. So leave a comment below in the comment section. You will have the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet. And do not forget, of course, to click on the like button if you enjoy our videos, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get notifications. And now let's go on with the show. This is coming to an end, the Premier League. The title for sure is over, but we have the relegation battle, we have the Champions League battle, so many things to analyze with you, Tom. Hello.
Hello. Coming towards the end, but still very excited from 2nd to 19th.
Exactly. So let's start with one of the teams at the bottom, Fulham. We are saying every single week, if they win, they are out of the relegation. If they win, they are out of the relegation, but they keep losing. They lost 3-1 against Aston Villa despite taking the leads, 3 straight defeats for them. And now they have another chance against a team like Wolverhampton that they are not good. Actually, no victories in the last 5. So will this be the time?
I don't want to say it this week. I don't want to say it. I refuse to say it this week because I feel like every week we do this and every week I say this is the Fulham week. This is the week they do it. They've clawed back 10 points to 3 points and I thought they were going to beat Villa last week. They outplayed Villa for like 80 minutes. They had the lead and still contrived to lose 3-1. I'm starting to lose faith. I'm starting to lose faith that Fulham are going to do it. Look, this is the week, I think. This is the week where we find out whether they're going to do it or not. Because they should have done it against Villa. They should have done it against Leeds. And they failed. This is the game. Wolverhampton Wanderers, at this point in their existence, are nonsense. Complete nonsense. You watch the way they played against West Ham the other day. They score goals, but they need 25 shots to do it. The defence looks weak. The midfield looks slow. Injury problems. They're the only club that would have a player go down with COVID a couple of hours before kickoff, which is what happened to them against West Ham. Over and over again, these things happen to them. Their luck is out. Their form is out. The players just want to end this season. And so, okay, I'm doing it. Fulham win. Fulham win. This is the week for Fulham. They win. Narrow. It's not going to be an interesting bet. Just Fulham win.
Well, actually, the odds are not that bad. It's 2.51 if we back Fulham. So fair enough if you are a bit more conservative. Asian handicap 0 for Fulham is 1.79. So you get your money back in case of a draw. This game is going to be played on Friday. Then on Saturday, we have a Champions League team like Man City against Leeds, Guardiola against Bielsa. Man City, they won at the very last minute against Borussia Dortmund, so they have to travel to Germany with a short margin. Probably time for Guardiola again to change the whole team, that's for sure. And we saw, Tom, in the reverse fixture, actually there was a draw. How these Leeds and the way they play, they can harm Man City. Maybe because the odds for Man City is only 1.3. Maybe going for the double chance, something like this.
I mean, the only way to win on Man City these days is to lump on big on the basic result. And that's what I would do again this week, being Man City to win heavily. I would go big on just Man City to win. Because, I mean, you mentioned the 1-1 draw earlier in the season, very different times, very different teams. That was when we had our doubts about Manchester City. We don't have any doubts anymore. They've changed the way they play, the way they approach the game, and they're swatting teams aside. They aren't particularly entertaining. They aren't there to bedazzle us. I don't think they're going to be memorable champions, but they are going to be champions, and they are going to win this, and I wouldn't go any further than 2-0.
Okay, then Asian handicap -2 for Man City pays 2.47. That could be your bet. Here for Man City Leeds and the other Champions League team, Liverpool. They face Aston Villa, another team. In this case, they got a defeat against Real Madrid, playing badly, poorly after their victory against Arsenal 0-3. They also have to keep an eye on the Premier League, Tom, because they need to qualify for the next season in the Champions League, especially if they lose against Real Madrid. So this is a game to win against Aston Villa that they have nothing to play for. Actually, they beat Fulham.
Don't they? I'm not sure. With their game in hand on everyone else, say they win this, they move to 47. And 47 points right now, very much in the mix to catch West Ham with 7 games to go. So I think it's a massive game for Aston Villa, because they beat Fulham last week, which I didn't expect. That got them back in the mix. Runs of wins change seasons. And of course, they had that incredible 7-goal haul against Liverpool earlier in the campaign. They would love a double over Liverpool, who have been atrocious at home, as we all know. And the fact is, they were great against Arsenal, Liverpool. They were dreadful against Real Madrid in midweek. How are they going to play against Villa? I have no idea. Honestly, this is the game of the whole weekend that I would avoid. I would avoid it like the plague in terms of putting my own money on it. If you want something interesting, I'd be looking for the various Villa results. I don't see Liverpool playing at their best. I don't see Liverpool running away with any sort of victory here. They might need to rotate, and they haven't got a deep squad, as we've seen over and over again this season. So if you're looking for some money here, go for a draw, both teams to score, and look around for tight Villa wins as well. But draw, both teams score, my pick.
The draw pays 5.0. Aston Villa double chance. Probably this is a good one if you think Aston Villa is going to get points from Anfield. 2.75. And the other Champions League team is Chelsea. They are playing against Porto on Wednesday, and they face Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, they drew against Everton with Batshuayi scoring at the very in the last part of the game. And Chelsea, I was shocked. I think we all expected an easy victory against West Brom. And suddenly, 2-5, Thiago Silva was sent off. This game comes in the middle of the Champions League tie. And Chelsea, they are 5th now. They lost the Champions League spot, so they have to win for sure at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, have to win this game, Chelsea, and I expect them to. I think that the West Brom game was unexpected, an anomaly. I don't see it repeating itself. I have been saying all season long that I think Thiago Silva is a poor sign. You can see he's once a great player, but you can see that he looks too slow, too old for the Premier League, and he got shown up by Callum Robinson and Mateus Pereira, for goodness sake. So, it's not the greatest sign that he's still got it at this level. It'll do them a favour. He's suspended. They can look for other combinations. I think Christensen and Zuma is probably their strongest combination, and I'd expect that to be the combination for this game. For Crystal Palace, excellent result for them against Everton, but they got it because Everton are the masters of shooting themselves in their own foot. Everton should have won that 6 or 7-0. They had so many great chances, couldn't put Palace away, and Palace nicked one at the death. I don't see Palace being able to stop Chelsea. I think we'll see a backlash from Chelsea. We'll see heavy rotation from midweek to weekend, but their squad is embarrassingly strong. As I've said all season long, they shouldn't be even in the conversation for maybe qualifying for the Champions League. They should be challenging Man City for the title. So strong and deep is their squad. It's been awful for them in terms of what they should have achieved, but I think they're more than good enough to beat Crystal Palace. I'd be looking at 2-0 minimum Chelsea.
Chelsea to win 2-0, for instance, 2.4, considering how Crystal Palace struggle also to score, could be a good bet. These are the games for Saturday. On Sunday, we start with a relegation battle game. Burnley, Newcastle, both are out of the relegation zone, but if Fulham wins, Newcastle is in trouble. They got a draw, they got a point against the Spurs, and Burnley, they lost 3-2 with Southampton. So although they are almost safe, they are not safe yet. Only 4 points difference between these two teams. And Burnley here, always, Tom, when they play at Turf Moor against a middle table team or lower, favorite, 2.28.
Yes. I think that's right. I'd make Burnley favourites for this as well. I think they had some great chances against Southampton last time out. Chris Wood could have had a hat-trick on the day. Loads of great efforts. He came up against a goalkeeper in Fraser Forster who just kept preventing him from scoring. For Newcastle, 4 draws in their last 5. No real conversation to be had about how they're trying to stay up. They're trying to bludgeon their way to safety, Burnley style. And I still have my doubts that Newcastle are going to be able to do it. Joe Linton finally scored a goal against Tottenham. Can he score in consecutive games? Zero chance of that happening, having watched him for a year and a half. I think this game has got draw written all over it, personally. I think both teams will be more than happy for a draw. And if you're looking for a goalless draw this weekend and one to maybe stay in bed for, this would be it. Burnley 0, Newcastle 0. Both happy with that result as well.
We have 3.36. Then if you fancy the draw between these two teams, then massive game from the relegation to the Champions League. West Ham, Leicester, 3rd against the 4th. The Foxes lost against Man City in the second half of the game. And West Ham, they beat Wolves. They got, I don't know if you were nervous after leading again 0-3 against Wolverhampton. Maybe some supporters had a deja vu with what happened with Arsenal only some weeks before. So for this game, actually, Leicester is favorite 2.58. The Foxes really good on the road. West Ham really good at home.
Yeah, real tough game, this one. Real tough game. I think the absence of Declan Rice for West Ham may well have tipped the odds in Leicester's favour because he's so important for everything West Ham do. As great as Mark Noble has been as a servant to West Ham, starting in midfield against a Leicester City side that are nearly back to full strength, it might just tip it in Leicester's favour. I think David Moyes is going to have to go quite defensive. I'd be looking at 5 at the back, 4 in midfield and 1 up front, but doubts about Antonio as well. Even if he's slightly injured, they take him off immediately, as they did against Wolves at the weekend. And so if he's missing, that could be a big loss. But I don't know. I think West Ham just keep putting it out the fire. I don't know why they keep doing it. I don't know how they keep doing it. But I just feel like West Ham aren't going to lose this game. I think that Leicester, understandably, are favourites because they've got players back. They were underwhelming against Man City. I think they'll fancy themselves to score against West Ham. But I also fancy West Ham to score against Leicester with the form of Jesse Lingard. I think he's been the player of the Premier League for the last 6 weeks, and I think they can score against Leicester. So, draw, both teams to score.
Both teams to score. We have odds 180, so actually it's not bad. The draw is 3.54. Of course, you get more money, you risk more if you go for the draw in this Champions League contenders game. Then also we have on Sunday a very good game. Tottenham, Man United, Mourinho against Man United. Their ex, the Red Devils are in the middle also of the European tie. They are playing Granada. So they should have wrapped up already the tie in the first leg, but we don't know yet that. And the Spurs, they drew with Newcastle. They are just missing and misses chances to stay in European positions. Tough one to call this one because they are so unpredictable this season, but Man United are really good actually outside of Old Trafford this season.
Yeah, on the road, they've been fantastic and they've got so many big wins, so many big performances, so many times they've gone behind and gone on to win it. Even happened against Brighton at home, previously as well. So it's one of those things where I expect Manchester United to win. I expect them to win. I expect them with their second team to win. I don't expect them to rest Bruno Fernandes in the Europa League or in the Premier League. And with him, they will win games like this. And Tottenham Hotspur, they've got one thing, and that's give it to Harry Kane, hope for the best. You know, they're a poor side this season. Defensively, incredibly weak. And the defenders, the individual players, I think are fed up of the constant Mourinho sass. Like after the game against Newcastle, same coach, different players. If you're Davinson Sanchez or Joe Rodon, you'd be like, is he talking about me? I've done everything he asked me. I've trained the way he's wanted us to. I've given my best, and he's slagging me off to the world's media after a 2-2 draw against Newcastle when his offensive tactic is, can we get the ball to Harry Kane and keep our fingers crossed? So I think a lot of Tottenham players understandably are annoyed with Mourinho. A lot of Tottenham fans are annoyed with Mourinho. I think Mourinho can be reasonably pleased. There won't be fans in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for this because I think he'd be getting a coating right now of 60,000 fans in North London. I don't see any way Tottenham win. I do see Tottenham scoring because, again, Harry Kane exists, but I see Man United winning. Tottenham to score, but Man United to win.
Then odds for Man United to win 2.52. If you like the both teams to score also, for instance, 1.72. Not bad at all. Then from the north of London, White Hart Lane, we go to Sheffield United Arsenal. And this is a tricky one in my opinion. Arsenal also in the middle of the European tie against Slavia Prague, and probably this will be tough. And we know how they lost against Liverpool, and they are able to do whatever they want in this Premier League, and they are facing, of course, the worst team in this Premier League, lost again in the weekend against Leeds. The odds are 1.61 for Arsenal, actually are not that bad, but I don't know, you could expect a surprise here.
I think there have been 4 really awful teams in the Premier League this season. Wolverhampton Wanderers because of their injuries, Newcastle United because of their manager, Sheffield United because of their squad, and Arsenal, and I can't explain why. Let's say Arteta for now, but it could be the players, it could be a whole bunch of reasons. But Arsenal have been atrocious in so many games. And I know they were playing Liverpool, and there are caveats to that, but that Liverpool performance, which I was working on, was absolutely shocking. The first half an hour against West Ham the week before that, atrocious. There are so many games now where Arsenal have been pitiful. And so you're right. I think Arsenal go into it as favourites, but who would be bold enough and brave enough to say Arsenal are going to win? I just don't know if I can. But also there's no scenario where I back Sheffield United. So this one is a gambler's nightmare. I'll take Arsenal to win, but it isn't one that I'd be betting on personally. To be honest, there's some good money to be made this weekend. I'm not sure it's this game. Arsenal at the moment are a bit of a false flag. You think, oh, Arsenal against the bottom team. Of course they're going to win. But then you watch Arsenal and you think, oh my word, what has happened here? They're a club that needs wholesale change. May well start at the top. It may well start even above him. I don't know. But if you're going to, go Arsenal to win. But I recommend you don't.
Yeah, and for sure, I wouldn't include this in an ACCA, for instance, because there is a high risk of Arsenal dropping points here. We published actually on Oddspedia in the social media the numbers of Arteta and Emery as Arsenal coach, and actually Emery was better than Arteta, so the season of Arsenal is being really poor. Let's see what happens, at least in the Europa League, where they are still alive. On Monday, we have West Brom, Southampton. Is there hope for West Brom to stay in the Premier League? We will see probably on Monday, because maybe if they win, they are 8 points away from Newcastle. Still a long run, but after that surprising victory against Chelsea, probably there is a little bit of hope. And now they are facing Southampton, who probably after the victory against Burnley, they will be looking more at the FA Cup semi-finals next week against Leicester City than to the Premier League.
Yeah, Sam Allardyce said before the Chelsea game, there was 9 games left and he needed 6 wins. And after the match, he was asked, what about your chances? And he said, 8 games left, we need 5 wins. And, you know, that's still an incredibly tall order. It's so steep, it's nearly vertical for West Bromwich Albion. But as you say, that FA Cup semi-final looming for Southampton, it does change a lot, as does their victory last weekend against Burnley. It moves them into a nice, comfortable position on 36 points. They haven't got to get another point in the league this season, and they will stay up, Southampton. Would you risk Danny Ings? Would you risk Shea Adams? Would you risk James Ward-Prowse? If there's any slight niggle, injury, doubt for any of those players, you absolutely would not if you were Southampton. And that does just bring in a little chink of light that maybe West Brom could get something. But West Brom are still, despite those brilliant goals against Chelsea, rubbish. They're still a side that are just going to wallop it forward and hope for the best. You know, don't be fooled by those goals against Chelsea. They are still a Sam Allardyce hoof it and hope team. But my gut tells me West Brom win. West Brom get a corner and they win this game. I don't think Southampton are going to score against them because I think they'll rest players. And I would say West Brom win without conceding.
There is a good opportunity actually for betting in this game. West Brom to win is 3.65, so odds are quite all right. If you want to be a little bit more cautious, West Brom, Asian handicap 0, 2.52. So if there is a draw, at least you get your money back. High odds for Allardyce men, because Southampton is favourite for this game, as you said, probably they shouldn't take in consideration that we have the FA Cup semi-finals next week, and the last game to analyze, Brighton, Everton. Brighton, they lost, but they are still competitive. They lost against Man United, 6 points away from bottom three, so they are not safe yet. And Everton, I think they are, you said that they were shooting at their foot, and the thing is that they are winless in the last 3 Premier League games, and they are getting far away from the European positions.
Yeah.
And that's the goal of the season for sure, playing in Europe next season.
Yeah, I think Everton have blown it. They've blown it in their terrible home form in recent weeks. There were so many games they should have won and either drew or lost. Burnley and of course the game a couple of days ago against Crystal Palace as well. You know, it's been a bad 2021 at Goodison for them. So I think mid-table mediocrity is the best they can hope for Brighton. They have suddenly become quite ruthless in front of goal, which was their biggest issue. They're a good possession side. They're a good football side. They're a creative side. They have good endeavour, but they couldn't shoot. And then suddenly, bam, 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 goals in every game. And they did score as well against Man U last time out as well, with a great instinctive follow-up finish from Danny Welbeck. Tough one to call because Everton have been really good away from home, but I think Brighton need it more. I think there's a little switch with Everton where the season is petering out, and I think Brighton need it more. So if I was to go one way or the other for this one, I would be picking Brighton, but maybe draw, both teams score is more what I'd be looking at.
The draw pays 3.4, both teams to score. This is a tricky one actually because Brighton is favourite, 2.47 against a European contender, let's say, like Everton. If you fancy both teams to score, I think this is probably our best bet here. We have odds 1.99, so you almost double your money if you go here for both teams to score. Then Tom, that's all. Let's see your ACCA for the weekend.
Real tough one again this week. A real tough ACCA to pick. And I'm going to lead it, bizarrely, with Fulham. Because it's going to happen, all right? It's going to happen. Fulham are in my ACCA. Okay. Man City will beat Leeds United. That has to go in there because City always win. Chelsea will beat Crystal Palace. And, I didn't want to put Arsenal in. But that's how you're going to get some money. No, Man United. Man United, Tottenham goes in there. That's my 4.
There is no money with Arsenal beating Sheffield United in this weekend, so let's avoid that game. Then, Tom, thanks, and see you then next week. Let's see with Fulham outside of the...
Come on, Fulham! Come on, Scott Parker! We believe in you here!
Now we have everything we need to place our bets in these interesting games, especially that Tottenham Man United. Well, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you think about any game in the comment section. You will have the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet. And do not forget to click on the like button if you enjoy our video, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell to get all the notifications. If you prefer, also you can listen to all our videos in our podcast. And next week we are back. We will have more odds on Premier League.